For 6 millennia, while civilizations rose and fell across the globe, a potent plant grew quietly in the soil of the Americas. This was Nicotiana tabacum, a cousin of the deadly nightshade. To the indigenous peoples, it was not merely a plant, it was a sacred tool for healing and a bridge to the divine. The world changed in 1492. When Christopher Columbus stepped onto the shores of the New World, he was greeted with warmth and gifts: fruit, spears, and dried pungent leaves. Columbus, baffled by the inedible, strong-smelling foliage, threw the useless leaves overboard. He did not realize he was discarding a commodity that would one day rival gold. The first Europeans to truly understand the plant were Rodrigo de Jerez and Luis de Torres. In Cuba, they watched the natives drink smoke. Jerez tried it and became the Old World's first devotee. He brought the habit home to Spain, but his arrival was not met with curiosity, but with terror. When smoke billowed from Jerez's mouth and nose, his neighbors did not see a leisure activity. They saw a man possessed by demons. The Holy Inquisition threw him into a dungeon for 7 years. But while Jerez sat in a cell, the habit he introduced escaped into the streets. By the time he was released, the devil's smoke was being puffed by sailors and merchants across Spain and Portugal. Throughout the 16th and 17th centuries, tobacco pulled off its greatest trick. It convinced the world it was medicine. As Portuguese sailors planted seeds at every trading post from Brazil to the east, European doctors began to sing its praises. In 1571, Nicholas Monardes wrote a book claiming tobacco could cure 36 different ailments. It was snuffed and smoked by the elite and the sick alike. By the time of the American Revolutionary War in 1776, the plant was so valuable that revolutionaries used it as collateral to secure French loans. For centuries, tobacco was a slow pleasure, chewed or packed into pipes. But the 19th century brought the Industrial Revolution, and with it, a change in pace. In 1847, Philip Morris opened shop in the UK. Soon after, American companies like Liggett and R.J. Reynolds began building empires on chewing tobacco. But the true turning point came in 1881, with the invention of the Bonsack machine. Suddenly, cigarettes didn't need to be rolled by hand. The machine could churn them out by the thousands. James "Buck" Duke partnered with the inventor to form the American Tobacco Company, and the modern cigarette industry was born. The 20th century saw tobacco woven into the very fabric of global conflict. During World War I and II, the industry found its most loyal customers in the trenches. Millions of packs were shipped to the front lines. Cigarettes were even included in soldiers' sea rations alongside food. A generation of men returned home heroes, but also addicts. The 1920s saw the industry expand its gaze to women. With campaigns like Mild as May, companies feminized the habit. By 1935, the number of female smokers in the U.S. had tripled. The cigarette had become a universal symbol of glamour and grit. Yet throughout this rise, there were whispers of the truth. As early as 1610, Sir Francis Bacon had noted the plant's tyrannical hold, observing it was a tough habit to kick. In 1761, British doctors warned of nose cancer in snuff users. In 1795, Germans linked pipes to lip cancer. But these warnings were drowned out by profit. It wasn't until the mid-20th century that the science became undeniable. In the 1930s, the link to lung cancer was forged. Finally, in 1964, the U.S. Surgeon General issued a landmark report: smoking killed. Today, the relationship between humanity and tobacco has shifted from romance to regulation. The medicinal plant is now known to be a killer. The industry, once celebrated, now fights a war of attrition, battling lawsuits, advertising bans, and strict labeling laws. Yet the grip of the ancient plant remains strong. With 1 billion users worldwide, tobacco continues to generate billions in profit and trillions in health costs, a lingering shadow of the gift that Columbus once threw into the sea.